were no public speakers scheduled for today. Is that still the case, Adrian?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so in following the agenda, then we'll move to approving the minutes or post, or I guess I'll, anyone want to propose approving the minutes? Thank you.
I would just like somebody to run spell check through this because my name is spelled 2 different ways consistently throughout. It's 1 R, 2 N's. So other than that,
Okay, so we have a motion to approve the minutes with correction to Ms. Greenberg's name spelling and other spell check.
Yeah, second.
Okay, so we have a first and a second. Okay, so I guess all in favor of approving the minutes with those corrections, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Anyone opposed? Anyone abstains? Okay, so I think the motion carries. All right, so moving on as far as chair report. First, I just wanted to thank everyone for conducting the April 7th meeting in my absence, particularly to Ms. Greenberg for covering as chair. Thank you. And the continued discussion in regards to annual reports and other old business meetings. So thank you. And thank you to the MSD staff for their continued work and our other response agencies. So that is all I had as far as reporting. So with that, we'll move on to old business. We still have the Ford Motor Company appeal and resolution on the agenda. And in my understanding, or the last report that I had received, all of the parties had settled except for one, the Fairdale Fire Department, and in discussions with Mr. Buffini, that was still the case. Adrian, or Ms. Niehoff, can you confirm that at this time?
Yes, we just received that email this afternoon. So it still looks like they are still trying to resolve that.
Okay, so at this point, I guess we're going to pass this on to the next meeting and let, at this time they're not ready to bring it back to this board.
Right.
Okay. All right. So that item will remain in old business. From there, according to the agenda, we'll move over just to an update of board members. We have not added any board members since the last meeting, but I will go ahead and go through that list. I have Ms. Cheryl Fisher representing the community at large and serving as our secretary, and Ms. Corrine Greenberg, who is an industry partner from Chemours and also a co-chair to this committee. Both of those people are present here today. George Becker, who is not in attendance today, is a member of the general public.
Okay.
Okay. Peter Raymond, I'm sorry. Also he is not present today, and I don't have, Mr. Raymond is an industry partner, and can somebody help fill that in for me?
Oh gosh,
Metalco?
Yes, thank
saw
you.
That I remember reading. I've had minutes.
Thank you. And Colonel Shaw Driesbach, representing the J-Town Fire Department, who is not in attendance today. Colonel Charles Atkinson, who is in attendance today, representing the Louisville Metro Fire and Rescue. I'm sorry, just I guess Louisville Fire and Rescue. Mike Lynn with Carbide Industries. I do not see Mike in attendance today. Lori Carlson, thank you, representing industry with Xeon Chemicals. And then I guess myself, Connie Mendel with Louisville Metro Department of Public Health and Wellness, serving as chair. So and it looks like my term is the only one set to expire Even though I just came on the board in 2020, that was to fill in on a vacant position. So that's the only one scheduled to expire this year in November. I think everyone else is good through at least 2024, or Ms. Carlson is next in February of 2024. So Ms. Nehoff, do you know the process for that position or refilling that?
Are you looking to not renew or
Oh. No, I mean, I'm available to renew, and I think the health department is a longstanding membership on the committee. So if not me,
okay,
someone from our organization.
right. I think I will have to review that process, but I believe her name is Althea. I have spoken with her a couple of times. And I know I have some emails, but I don't have that process right in front of me. I don't think it's not a very in-depth process at all.
Yeah.
I just redid my renewal this few months ago, and it was pretty straightforward. It's nothing like the initial
Okay.
process.
All right. I can reach out to Ms. Jackson, and I just don't want us to have a vacancy,
Right.
on the board. If we could continue, if we could keep it continuous, that would be good.
Right.
All right. So that is a conclusion for old business, unless I'm missing something. No. All right. So that takes us to new business. Well, I already did the introduction of board members. So, okay. So with that, we will, we have the 2021 annual report, which has been distributed to the members, which we do have a couple of corrections on that. So the Louisville Metro Hazmat Ordinance and Appeals and Overseers Board 2021 summary.
Yeah.
So one correction of note, it does not list the 2 meetings that were held in 2021, and those were January 27th and July 28th. And Ms. Greenberg, is your name spelled correctly throughout this report?
I think I only appear once. It is spelled correctly, but on that same list of the board membership, Mike Lane is listed as general public, and he should be an industrial community member.
Great. All right, thank you. Okay. Does anyone else have corrections to the report? Amendments? No. Okay. So with that, I'm open to a motion to accept the report with those corrections.
So move to accept with the correction of the 2021 meetings and correcting Mike Lane's affiliation.
Okay. So I have a motion. Do I have a second? Okay. Ms. Carson, thank you. Any discussion, further discussion? No. Okay, so all those in favor of accepting the report, approving the report, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I think that was unanimous, but just in case any dissension. All right, good. All right, with that, the 2021 report is approved. All right. Sorry, I'm switching screens, going back to the agenda. So we've got approval of the report, and then the other thing we have is a current 2022 emergency response case trends. Who's providing discussion?
That would be Bob.
Okay.
Bob, do you want to provide the update on the ERIs thus far this year?
Do that.
Okay.
It's going to take just a half second, so if you'll give me a moment, I'll have that for you.
And if you don't mind, go ahead and introduce yourself for the board and anyone following on or with Facebook or YouTube.
This is Bob Buffini. I'm the Industrial Stormwater and Hazardous Materials Supervisor. What we did is we just made a quick hang on a minute.
Okay.
Apologize. I thought that report was going to be put on there, and I have to pull it out of mine.
No worries. We could take this moment to go ahead and introduce other staff on the meeting. While we're here, I see, go ahead, Ms. Niehoff.
I'm Adrienne Niehoff. I'm the Industrial Programs Manager at MSD.
Mhm. And then Mr. Dan Sullivan.
Yes, hi, my name is Dan Sullivan. I am the technical support for this Zoom meeting and a YouTube stream for Louisville MSD.
Thank you.
Were you able to find it, Bob?
Hi, Connie. Can I ask a question while Bob is pulling up that report pertaining to the HMO annual report and the report of incidents? At the last board meeting, I requested of the MSD staff if there was a way that we could make the incident information more available to the public in a more timely manner. Does anyone from MSD staff have an update on whether that's been considered or discussed?
I'm sorry, Cheryl, my microphone, you had asked if making this information public.
Right, we had discussed whether, because normally that full summary of incidents doesn't come out until that report is published in the following year. Is there any consideration by MSD staff to make that report available on a more timely basis, maybe online or something like that?
We have talked about that, and that's something that we were providing you with today, is we were going to give you an update. Are you wanting actual specific information? What we're providing today, which I don't know where Bob, I'm not sure if he is still on here or not, but I do have
Adrian, I'm trying to find that data, and I apologize.
I have it, Bob. It was just general information that we were going to provide today. In the first 6 months of this year, MSD responded to 39 declared hazardous materials incidents. We responded to 20 requests from the fire departments for assistance. And 37 other ERI cases were created for miscellaneous reasons, and that could be anything from a customer service, oil in the ditch, or it could be something with pertaining to the MS4, the Municipal Separate Storm Sewer System. So we have made that consideration. That's why we were providing the general information today on how many incidents. And I don't know, I had that information, but anyway, that's what we were providing. I don't know if there's something more you're asking for. You want us to actually list out the incidents?
Well, that was really my question. Just like the Air Pollution Control District makes a list of their incidents available on a monthly basis, and I know MSD does not. I was just asking the question if that is a consideration by the staff to do that, to do something similar. I think quarterly would actually be adequate as well if this group was meeting quarterly.
Okay. Well, currently, do we meet quarterly or do we meet? I thought we met biannually.
Yeah,
so
I think you're right. I think it is twice a year, not
twice
quarterly.
a year. Yeah. I mean, I don't think that's a big deal for us to do. I don't see any problem with that.
I think, Adrian, part of the reason the monthly was an issue was because a lot of these cases are not
Right.
Your
No,
gentleman.
we could not provide it on a monthly. So as you know, our process is that we have incidents that occur, and then we have a RGM. So it's the regulatory group meeting. So it may take, and sometimes it may take a couple of months to actually get the incidents resolved. So it's not like we can provide those on a monthly basis. I'm thinking something, I don't know if it would be quarterly, but maybe we could do it on a biannual basis. I don't have a problem with that. And we could list it underneath, the hazardous materials link.
Okay, there was just a question of making the information more readily available, being that it's the following year when we get it. But if we were to get, of course, we haven't seen the presentation from today yet, and maybe that kind of satisfies what I was asking for at the last meeting.
Yeah, and it looks like Ms. Greenberg, you had a comment or question.
Yeah, I want to support and follow up with Cheryl's point here, because we're all kind of talking around the same issue. So, and this has come up at the county local emergency planning commission meetings. It's come up at the air board, and it's a lot of the same people. So in the context of the last LEPC meeting we had Jim Bottom from EMA trying to speak to it. We had Paul Kern from Public Health and Wellness trying to speak to it. They had met with air pollution control, and the underlying concern is that a incident gets called into 911. It's an RQ release of something, and then they're automatically sending out lens alerts to everybody in the community, and everybody who is subscribed to that zip code is getting this lens alert, and it says there has been a hazmat release at such and such and such Campground Road. There is no concern to the public, and that's all that they ever get. And the community members are expressing frustration that they don't know what that means. They'd like some sort of reassurance that, well, what was it? And APCD is trying to help respond, but they get called on the fewest because they only get called off if it's an excess emissions report or if it's an odors incident. Jim Bottom is usually there at EMA. We said MSD is almost always there if it's a HMO incident, and trying to figure out how we can close the loop and follow up. And it's not just an MSD issue, but it is a county community issue. And there's got to be something more we can do to coordinate, even if we had a list, maybe not, closed, but this company, this address, this date. Maybe we could list what the chemical was, or, pending confirmation, or if we know the release, or pending confirmation, but just some sort of roster, preferably online, that people could go to, maybe not real time, but at something more frequently than annually or even semi-annually, I think is the issue here.
Okay.
That's exactly what I was asking, but thank you for saying that so eloquently. Correct.
A little more forcefully.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I don't think we've ever been asked for this before. And I know Cheryl, both you and Corinne have mentioned this the last meeting. I mean, I don't see any problem with that, other than it would definitely have to, we would definitely, if we were going to report something like this, we would definitely have to make sure that we had discussed it at the RGM first before.
And I don't see, just coordinate with Public Health and Wellness and EMA and APCD, just, maybe develop a touch base.
Yeah. Well, and in looking at the annual report, for instance, the table that lists, and those are ones for violations.
Right.
But something similar to that would be, you have a company name, you have an incident number, you have a date, material release, like the first one says non-PCB transformer oil.
Right.
Maybe the estimated release amount would be helpful, and an address. I think just that would be helpful information. If someone wanted to look up non-PCB transformer oil, that's easy to look up. Or the third one lists 68% nitric acid. I mean, it provides a date, it provides an amount, it provides an address. I guess, and then, I know anyone wanting more information, they could always put in a request for open records.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I think it at least provides much more than, like Ms. Greenberg mentioned, where it just said, a release has occurred, no further action needed, or, I agree. I think our community, there is an outcry in our community for more information like that, and just more transparency from, government and responding agencies.
Right. Okay.
Any other, Colonel Atkinson or Ms. Carson, do you have any comments, suggestions?
Just that I think there needs to be context when you put that kind of information out. Corinne, you're a victim of putting out good information and it gets spun into something sinister and evil. I think that we know that that happens. It's continuing to happen, particularly since you mentioned APCD. So I don't know what the answer is. I keep saying that the community needs some sort of advocate, some sort of ombudsman that can help them understand what the information means and what it doesn't mean. But I know that's probably beyond the scope of this team. I think that's just fine.
Yeah.
Industry perspective.
Colonel Atkinson, you were getting ready to say something a moment ago.
Yeah, I was just going to speak more towards a comment than a solution, because it sounds like folks have already given some ideas about potential solutions. I just know that we receive open records requests frequently for information about incidents that we respond to, and certainly those that have resulted in hazmat declarations and lens alerting and those types of things. So I guess really just to reiterate that there is apparently a desire for that information to be readily available, and the open records process is a little bit, I guess, troublesome to have to utilize to get information that we may be able to just put out more readily. So
I agree. It can be tedious for everyone involved, including those requesting the information. Looks like Mike Lynn has been able to join us.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Discussion. Thank you.
Yes, I'm here. Thank you for having me. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, good.
All right. And I see Mr. Buffini, are you ready to provide additional report?
The only report we had at that time, Connie, was just the number of incidents. We can provide information as needed if you will advise what type of information you needed. This was just basically a status report of where we were today. And again, we only really try to concern the board with incidents that have to do with hazmats. We don't even look at the ones that we make, such as stormwater violations and things such as that, unless it's a hazmat. If you have certain things you would like, that please let me know and I will get that information to everyone.
Great. I did have one question. I noticed it seemed lately I've received a lot of notifications. So given the numbers that Ms. Niehoff provided, are those or how are we trending? I guess, are we trending more or less, or do you have a?
You say notifications, you mean hazmats?
Yes, sorry. Yes,
Yeah,
hazmat release
so we do-
notifications.
Well, if you look at the numbers, we are at right now approximately 110 incidents. So the majority of our incidents that we're working on, as you can look at the numbers, are requests from the fire departments.
you say notifications.
Or hazmat notifications, things such as that. So I think it's very hard to, I know in this last week, we've made 5 to 6 different hazmats. So it goes by week to week, it changes and it varies. We had several weeks where it was very slow. It's rather hard to see how, just to say it's trending towards this. It's looking like it's going to be similar to last year. We probably will end up with around 100, based on what I see now, 170 responses, and probably 60% of them will involve hazardous materials or requests from the fire departments for response.
Thank you. So in thinking about the discussion as far as providing more information to the public and how to do that without resorting to open records requests, I guess I know Air Pollution Control District has had some conversations, and as Ms. Greenberg mentioned, the local emergency planning committee has also been discussing this along with the emergency services with Metro Louisville. In moving those discussions forward, is there anyone on this committee interested in being part of those conversations so we can make sure that everyone's included? Okay, so I see President Greenberg and Atkinson. Did I see your hand go up also, or no? I'm not volunteering you.
Lori raised her hand.
Yeah, Lori did. Okay, so I've got the two and then myself. Okay, all right, good. So we could form a committee of sorts. Okay. Let me check back on where we are on the agenda. So that, do we have any other new business? Or any other business? Okay, hearing none. The proposed date of our next meeting is January. If we stick with where we've been doing the fourth Thursday of the month at 1 p.m., that would be January 26th, if my dates are right, 2023. Go ahead.
We do PM because my company is a standing 1 to 2 p.m. meeting that some months I have to be in, some months I don't. But if I could always be free by 2 p.m.
I'm okay with 2. Everyone else here?
2 is good.
Okay. Okay. All right. So we will set a date tentatively for January 26th, 2 p.m. We will follow up with the other members to ensure that they're able to attend and ensuring that we have a quorum. So I guess last chance for other business, other comments. Sure. Okay. Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All right. So I have, okay, we've got a second. All right. Everyone in agreement? I guess
Agreed.
wave by or say. All right. No dissension. All right. Thank you all. Thank you for serving on this committee. Thank you to the MSD staff for your support and all you do. And we will see you in January.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
for your trip, Connie.
All right,
Thank you
thank you.
all. Have a good day.
Thank you. You too.
All
All
right,
righty.
bye.
Bye-bye.